Oh no!
You're stupid. That's funny.
I'm here. I got it. We're fine. Hello.
We got it.
Go on,
Here we
Jane.
go.
Talk. Or Jane, Sarah, or Piligy, whichever name you're choosing today.
So I told Dave the other day why my name is like I ruined it. Now I've ruined it. Now I can't just go home. I am home. Okay, whatever.
Just leave
No,
and go.
yeah, I'm just gonna.
What? Oh no! I thought she just fucking bounced.
I'm good.
I straight up panicked, like, oh my god, it's just happened.
No.
It's finally
Like,
happened.
it's cancelled.
Cancel! Stop it!
No, it's fine.
Go home, guys. Go home.
I was gonna say that I told Dave the other stream, like the other creator cast that we did, the last one, about Piligy.
Trilogy.
Oh yeah.
Jane, because Joe made a joke before we started that was like Dave Jamjar, Jane Piligy, and I was like, I was hoping you'd say Piligy because I'm just used to people being like Jane Piligy, and I'm like, yeah, sure, that's me.
Trilogy.
Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah,
That's what they are.
Oh.
pills. Yep.
Wait. Oh yeah. Dave doesn't know the context of the joke.
No.
I showed him.
Yeah.
I showed him.
She
I was
showed me them. I ordered
Look it up
some.
on
Yes.
Google.
Oh
Then-
my.
I was like, wait.
5-star review. Oh, hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
As you can
Hello.
see, Joe is the main host right now because they are in the middle of the screen.
I am the host. I own Creator Cast. Everyone follow my podcast at
Cool, man,
Space
Josh.
JellyBeans.
I am Christmassy. I
Just
have a
at
Christmas
Space
film.
JellyBeans somewhere.
Hello everyone. Welcome to the podcast. I'm joined by SpaceJellyBeans and Jane or Piligy or whatever you want to
And
call
Jane.
and
Special
Jane and Jane.
And that person.
It's
That
so hard to, like, when it comes to what we're talking about before while we're setting up, to not say it until the podcast, because we could say all of the like really interesting stuff before we even hit record or hit live or anything like that. When we sit there when it's live, it's like, we've already said this and now it's not going to feel as organic.
Genuine.
Yeah. But Jane wanted to talk
you know
about
how it is. Ramble
yeah,
about pretty much anything and everything.
that's my podcast, and yeah. The only structured part of the podcast is the questions at the end. Oh, I just looked at a comment, by the way, Jane.
I know. The headset. Already. It's already starting. We talked about this before the stream as well. Everybody always points out the headphones. It's great. But yeah, I'm glad you like them.
Honestly,
They're
they're
great.
a cool design. I kind of want them.
They're really cool. I like them a lot. Yeah, it's just really funny because every time everybody's just like, "Hey, cool headset," and then leaves, and I'm like,
I can't
okay.
believe that
Oh my
actually
God.
came up instantly. That is nuts.
Joking about it beforehand. Ugh.
That's so good.
Yep.
Jane
told-
was going to say, wanted to talk about how awkward it was when we all first met. Well, us three at least.
Oh yeah.
All first met in London, and that was for Sean's had 18, and that was
Yeah.
for
Yeah, it was
Sean's
last year.
How Do We Get Here tour, and we all decided to go for food and everything. And well, actually, before we went for food, it wasn't
Oh my
that.
God,
It was.
yeah.
Let's just say
You
this
have to tell
first.
You have to tell the story of like how we were at the venue.
Oh yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
basically,
What happened.
Joe and Jane and the rest of the soup group, right? Soup group,
Well, there was
the
only
crew.
like 3 of us who were super.
Yeah, the unofficial ones, like the aficionados of it all. But basically, we said, oh, we're gonna meet up and stuff. And basically, the moment me and Emily saw them and said, hey, they fucked off inside.
Yeah, we just went straight. It's like we're like,
Like,
hi,
so
thanks.
Yeah. And I remember Jane, like, I specifically remember you being so focused on going inside and not bothering. Yeah. You're probably
I'm
like,
sure I said hello.
You did.
I
You did,
I
but
have this face. I
it,
have,
it,
I have
it was
a look
it was
on
like
my
this.
face.
It was like this.
Oh
Hey.
no.
What? Like, and
Yeah, that's me.
I
That's
rem-
me. That's
I, rem-
absolutely
I remember
me.
just standing there with Em and just looking at her going,
Like,
we are friends, kinda.
I remember feeling so bad though. Like you were there, we said hello briefly, and then we were like, "Oh shit, we gotta go inside." And then I went inside. I was like, "I feel so bad that we left."
Everybody said we feel bad. Like everybody, as soon as
we all went in,
we were like, "Shit, Dave is still outside. We gotta go. We gotta actually go." Like,
it's alright. I wasn't cold at all.
It was fucking cold.
We came out eventually.
Yeah, it's fine. And then and then Sean popped out and all that kind of stuff. But then afterwards, it was afterwards, wasn't it? That's when we went for food.
Yeah, we went for food like straight and like immediately after that. We were like going to the train station.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you took a picture of us. Shit, do I still have that picture on my phone?
I don't have it on my phone, but I know which one you're on about. The circle one. The
fucking how does someone
that was the weirdest thing I've ever seen, where just a group of people are literally standing, facing each other, not communicating. You weren't talking to each other. You were literally just.
We were texting each other. We were texting each other.
Yeah, we were all in the group chat, being like, oh, "Guess where we are."
Yeah,
guess where we are.
But you were like opposite. It's a weird one because I just remember standing there going, "The fuck? What's going on here?"
What's happening? Just something, just like circle.
Yeah.
I couldn't find the circle one, but I found this one. I find it really cute.
So cute.
Yeah.
Photo.
Which one? Sorry.
That was really cute.
The one in the Discord.
I can't bring it up, or else the whole thing gets thrown up, and our secret conversations about how we hate everyone is gonna show.
Maddie, hello, Maddie. We're talking about.
Yo, Maddie.
London.
London. Oh, I've got to already let my cat out.
Oh no, all my responsibilities are downstairs.
Oh wait, you want to come up here first? Come up here.
Come introduce your cat. And Jane before this was getting furious at her cat.
I wasn't furious.
No, I'm joking.
I was a little bit angry, but not furious. Okay, I wasn't there yet. I'm good.
You grabbed the gnome by the hat, and you're just preparing to.
Yeah. Shit! Now I fucked up his hat.
Oh no! We've all got something Christmassy on, and.
I don't know what my cat's doing. She's just staring at me now.
I have a red pullover, and I feel like that's Christmassy enough.
It's Christmassy enough.
I couldn't find the ugly sweater. Like, I have a really ugly Christmas sweater, and I couldn't find it.
Emily got me this one actually today.
I today just got a nice cozy wool jumper, and that's it.
You're the emo Christmas fan. That's what you are. So it's pretty good.
Yeah. Never gonna catch me wearing an ugly, colourful Christmas jumper. That's never gonna happen.
Why not?
That's sad though. That would be really good.
Because, well, if there's like, I've seen some black and white.
Is that what you Google? You know, if you're trying to find something, you just Google black and white Christmas, please, and that's it. Like, you want to have the most basic thing. I'm trying to think of.
I know. Queens of the Stone Age did a Christmas jumper at one point that I wanted to get, and it was like a rock and roll black and white Christmas jumper, and I wanted it so bad. So.
I don't listen to Queens of the Stone Age. I know you really like them, but I've never really got into them. I wish I did, but I don't know. This is one of those. But what's the ugliest Christmas jumper you ever got given? Because me and my brother, we always have. Our parents always give us an ugly jumper each, and it has to match, just to embarrass us.
Oh,
28,
God.
And my brother's 25, 24, still have to wear the same matching Christmas jumper from my goddamn parents. And my mum, bless her, she's like, yay! I'm fucking like, oh, God damn it.
Just to see you suffer. That's what it is.
Yeah. Have you ever received something?
The only ugly Christmas jumper that I have is one that I got from Center Parks. And I think Center Parks, it's great. It's so great.
I've been to Center Parks.
I've never been.
I love it. But yeah, and I bought it myself because I was like, this is pretty hilarious.
Were you looking in the mirror when you said that? Like, this is pretty hilarious. I am a fucking comedian.
I just saw it. It's like a green Christmas jumper with like a Santa beard here, and it's like, it doesn't make any sense because it's just like a hairy chest, right? But yeah, I was like, that's pretty sick, and I got it.
Just having a hairy chest. The fact that you said a hairy chest makes it real. I actually imagine the chest though, so as in like the nipple and stuff, just to go attached to it.
Pretty boobies.
Just like big white furry chest.
It's Santa's nipples.
Jesus.
Santa's nipples also have.
I don't want to think about Santa's nipples.
You better watch out. You better not cry.
You better watch out.
Are you all excited for Christmas, or are you thinking to yourself, where's it come from?
I'm excited for the food. I'm not excited
Oh.
for the family drama, but I'm excited for the food.
That's a mood. I called in sick for Christmas this year because I was just like, no, I can't be asked. But I'm excited for the food. It's gonna be nice.
Yeah, and to take a break from stress and work, you know, that'd be great.
Do you drink on Christmas? Because like sometimes holidays, I don't drink that much at all, and my family get pissed. Like they love it. I don't. I hardly ever drink during the holidays.
I started
I don't
drinking
get
last
drunk,
year,
but I have like.
but I didn't drink on Christmas yet because I'm 19.
Yeah, I just realised that. I was like, oh yeah, I completely forgot.
I'm tiny and young, but yeah, I was 18 last year, so I started drinking alcohol like last year because in Germany it's allowed at 18.
Oh, I
And
remember
England.
last year. I remember I remember you getting drunk.
Uh-oh. Do you? I don't. Wait, what are you talking about?
I vaguely remember you being like, I had like a bottle of wine and I'm drunk. And then we were like, what the fuck, Jane? Are you okay?
You had
Really?
wine?
Oh,
Like, it's this wine that I found in like the dirty cupboards in the basement. Yeah.
I remember that.
What?
I still have that bottle. I still have that. It's still it still has something in it.
Oh no!
Throw it away.
Oh
I'm
no!
gonna keep it forever. It's
jeez.
Drink it on your 21st.
That was memorable. That was definitely.
I didn't even remember. I was like, how drunk was I? Because I didn't remember at first. But then it's fine. I remember what you mean.
Did you guys not drink before you were 18, or were you goody two shoes?
I probably my family are the kind that they'll like, hey, have a sip of this, whatever. When I was like younger, and they don't really care. And like, we have alcohol around the house because both my parents drink. Not so much now, but well, I'm still does. But there's always alcohol around the house, so I'll be like, oh, I'm sad and lonely, and grab some rum.
Look, rum's so good. I haven't had rum for ages.
Fucking edgy 14-year-old, just like, rum.
Wearing nothing but black.
Fix my issues.
Rum.
Rum.
The 14-year-olds that do, the typical ones.
It probably wasn't 14. It was probably more like 16, 17.
I think I was.
I think the first time I actually like drank something was at a party with a friend. It wasn't even a party. We were just like sitting, and I was like, "Do you have alcohol at home?" She was like, "Yeah, I do." And then we would go to alcohol. Like we make cocktails and stuff all night. I vomited because I never had alcohol before, and I didn't know my limits. So
I have one.
We mixed a lot of shit together, and we're just kind of tasting it. And I didn't even feel drunk, but I was still like, sick.
It's that moment, isn't it, where you're like, oh, and everyone just stops. And you're like, ah, shit.
Oh no!
When you get the cold sweats.
Yeah. I remember the first time I properly got drunk. It was the first house party I ever went to. I was 17, I think. Yeah, I think I was 17 or 16. And I mixed too many things. It was also the night that I ended up with a boyfriend and woke up the next morning like, oh no. Like, okay, I've got a commitment now. Yeah, that's how the night goes. But we ended up mixing Red Bull and vodka, like straight just in the can. We like emptied out half of the Red Bull and then poured the rest with vodka, and that was very bad.
Ugh.
We had ciders, had beers, we had just mixing all the things that you're not, and I threw up in a bush. So
it's always a bush. It's always a bush though. Everyone ends up in a bush. Like
I have not yet end up in a bush, but I'm looking forward to it.
I didn't
Give
end
it
up
time.
in a luckily, but I've thrown up in many bushes.
I...
But then
I've thrown up in many bushes.
I went to uni and I did Freshers Week. UK people know what Fresh is, but never again.
I remember.
But,
I tried vodka for the first time, and I was 16, 17, something like that. Anyway, we got a bottle of vodka, and obviously I was trying to impress people and shit, so I just necked it, and I specifically remember waking up in a thorn bush the day after and my legs were completely cut up from the falls. It looked like Zorro came up and just fucked me up. Like, I remember waking up going, oh fuck, on my own. Like, my friends just left me. It's like, oh, he's in a
On
bush.
your own in a thorn bush.
Hand and heart. That's what happened. And I remember just
You
getting
have really good friends.
perfect friends.
Wow.
Might I just say that?
Perfect friends.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so friendly now. I don't have trust issues at all. And then, oh man, I've had too many drunk moments where because I can do backflips and front flips and stuff and kick high. I remember once there was this. I'm not going to say her name, but I was trying to impress this girl when I was, I think, 16 still, and basically we had a party and she started talking to another lad, and I was like, no, my chances are slipping away from me, and basically I thought, you know what I'm going to do to really show up? I'm going to do a flip and land it, and then I'm going to get the girl. So
that's how that works.
Oh yeah, absolutely, all the time. So I literally stood up in the garden and clapped I fucking hell. I remember clapping my hands to make sure people paid attention. So I went right, and I did a thing where I stepped back and I do a front flip and land on my feet. It's called Webster, but I missed my feet. So I went over rotated and went whoa, to my face. On the grass. I remember just landing there going, oh, I want to die. I don't want to get up at all, because the moment I get up, people are going to go, are you alright? And I just remember thinking to myself, why did I do that? Like,
just stay on the ground, don't move.
I wanted to dig
Yeah.
it. I wanted to dig further. I wanted to go under. And safe to say, I didn't get the girl.
I wouldn't have thought.
Oh,
Ever.
God.
Oh boy.
I just remember that so vividly, and I think it completely stopped me from wanting to drink vodka. Yeah, that's what made me stop drinking vodka. And
I have a story for making me stop wanting to drink rum. Jane knows this story. I've told it before. It was the night that I drank a whole bottle of rum to myself.
that's the weirdest Christmas.
yeah.
That's the weirdest
Yeah,
Christmas movie ever. It was the night before the rum.
The night that I drank too much rum and ended up throwing up in my friend's toilet.
Oh, nice.
It's a great story.
So this was like a very bad period of my life, just to put it out there. And me and a friend, and she is like a bad example. She's like constantly, let's go out for drinks, let's get pissed. Blah. So it's like, okay, that mixed with that is a very bad mix. And we ended up doing pre-drinks at our house. We were like, okay, there's like a bar down the road. We'll go to the bar afterwards. We ended up drinking too much for pre-drinks. You're not supposed to get hammered at pre-drinks, but we kind of did. And I don't remember doing this. I was that drunk that I don't remember. I put a bottle of rum in like the inside pocket of my jacket when we went out. And I took that into the bar with me. And my friend told me what happened. I was like so drunk at the bar. I didn't even order anything at the bar because she was like, I'm not buying you any drinks. You're clearly pissed. I ended up going to the bathroom, downing the bottle of rum on my own, coming out, and she's like, what happened? I'm like, rum. Okay.
Rum.
What happened?
Rum
And
happened.
then I ended up, the only bit I remember about the bar was vaguely in the middle of the dance floor, just dancing, just like on my own dancing. I don't even know what music.
There was no
I was
music.
like,
There was no music. It was just you in the dance floor.
And yeah, and then I don't remember leaving the bar. I don't remember getting to the bar. What I do remember is being cuddling her toilet, throwing up everything. Her parents coming in and being like, hi, are you okay? Clearly at like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
So we woke them up because they were asleep when we came back. So I know from my friend was they had to like, because I threw up all over myself. I threw up everywhere, all over her, like everywhere. That's what happens when you drink too much rum. So don't do that. And her parents like cleaned me up,
like us.
like dressed me, put me in the shower, and I was like screaming and like crying and like it was. I'm glad I don't remember it.
But that means you got a good
the next
friend.
thing-
You got a good friend there. They
Well,
didn't leave you in a
she
fucking
didn't
bush.
really. Yeah, she brought me back, but she didn't really stop me from drinking. But then again, you wouldn't when you're like 18 or something.
So can I say a story of where everyone's gonna hate me about drinking?
Oh god.
Okay.
Holy shit.
All right. So I used to be a chef, as most people know, and at that place where I used to be a chef, we would be given like a pint while we're working and stuff. So, free drinks and stuff like that. Anyway, there was one bit where I think we just finished or had like a long break, so we got really drunk one night, and I can't remember how much I drank. I drank a lot of beer. Anyway, this is a terrible thing to be talking about, by the way. Puking up is a horrible thing to talk about on podcasts.
No,
Drunk
it's great.
stories. This is how
Yeah,
it
it's
works.
fine. So, basically, I was sick, but I vividly remember thinking I lifted the toilet lid up and puking
Oh
up.
no.
I didn't, obviously. Here's the worst part, right?
Oh.
I fell asleep. I got home and all that, and in the morning I came back and I was dating the boss's daughter at the time, and she covered for me because obviously if I'm doing that, then I've got to pay for it or get fired or anything like that. She blamed my puke on a customer. That customer got banned, and he was the sweetest guy as well. And I admitted it in the end. I'm not going to live with that guilt all the time. But I remember just sitting, because I was just sitting there going, yes, that person did it, not me. And I was like, oh, fuck. It was, I felt so bad.
That sucks.
Everyone's going to unfollow and unsubscribe now, like, fuck you.
Yeah, David's cancelled.
How dare he? That
That's
poor old
so
man.
bad.
The jam jars
We don't
over
know who
party.
it is.
The whiskey and jam jars
Hashtag.
over party.
It's the longest hashtag ever.
Oh no. Yeah, it is a long name though, isn't it? This is
Okay.
this
I
some,
need to let the cat out again.
yeah, that's fine. Something when I was
Go.
setting this up, I was like, how am I gonna make it so like these look equal? Because Piligy's so small, and then mine's just like, oh, it's too big. But it all worked out. How's everyone in chat doing? Hope everyone's doing good. I've dealt with worse, and they're still my best mates. What about, have you, apart from the wine then, Jane, have you had any other drunk stories yet?
Yeah, the same party. I got like so drunk again that I got sick, and it was the first time I got ever sick. Ever got sick from like alcohol or whatever. I was so sure that I got alcohol poisoning, but I didn't. Anyway, so my friend's bro or brother, also got drunk. So he had like some friends over, and they had a party downstairs. So they all came in to watch me puke. And they all came like in a circle and were like, it's gonna be fine.
Oh, I thought we were going to clap along.
It's gonna be okay.
Like, yeah,
Good.
throw up your
Jane,
guns.
Jane.
And then her mom came home and she came in to everyone in the bathroom watching me puke. And she was like, are you okay?
It's like a fucking cult.
I don't know, man. It was great.
I hate thinking about this because now I keep having flashbacks of my drunk stuff, and I sound so bad during it.
Dude, I probably have worse stories.
All right. You want to compete?
That I
Okay.
don't remember.
All right.
I don't even remember.
I'll end up like completely destroying any kind of image of myself.
Don't worry, my image is destroyed.
I'm just over here like, hey, I'm 19. I got drunk like
Learn.
twice.
Twice. That's right.
Wait, my birthday was really bad though, because we went. Okay, my 18th birthday is where you get like legalized for drinking, right? So you have to like celebrate real hard. So my mom, me, the same friend that I also had, like the other fiasco with at one time, and my aunt, I think, like just a little bit like of a group of my family and friends and stuff. We got a party bus. I think that's all I got to say about that.
Party buses are great.
So we got a party bus, and they just kind of kept handing out things, and we were like, dancing to Kesha. They didn't have a lot of good
Kesha.
music,
God
so
damn.
they only played really old shit. And then we went to a disco, or like just a club, I guess. And so my mom got drunk, and she kept forgetting that she already gave me like drinks. So she like ordered double every time and gave me everything, and I just downed it because I was like, that's probably fine if my mom's giving me this. So I drank everything. On the way home, I was like, I'm fine, you know, I'm good. I don't feel bad at all. As soon as I got home, I was in the bathroom until 6 a.m. in the morning. We came home at 4. So,
Yeah.
and at that point, I was like, I'm never gonna drink again. And since that day, I've never gotten drunk again. It's been a year, so.
That's not that bad, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, I still get like chocolates and little like drinks, but like I'm not getting hammered. Like that was bad.
I only, if I drink, I really drink, and that's it. Like New Year's last year, I got obliterated. It was really bad. Like I don't even have to tell you about that one. But the worst time I got drunk was I went to a house party, and the person who was the host was kind of like wealthy in a sense. So like basically, he had a really nice house, but he had a room, and it was like a dining room, but it was packed with alcohol. Like every kind of alcohol you can think of, it was in there. And there was a crate of JD. So Jack Daniels, for people who don't know what that is. And I
was confused for a second.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. I just said,
yeah, finding it out.
It's fine. And I literally sat there with a bottle and just started drinking it. And drinking it in like different ways and all this kind of stuff. Anyway, obviously, come to the bad stuff. I got really drunk. And basically what happened was my friend had like a van, and in the van it has like loads of pads and stuff, like martial arts stuff. So I slept in there. I woke up with I went in on my own. They locked the door as well. I managed to somehow wake up with 2 people in the back. I somehow kidnapped them. And I did not let them go.
Wait, just random people? Hold on.
No, I knew the people. It wasn't off the street.
Okay, I got scared. I was like, wait.
You.
Get in my bed. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, it was. And I was waking up and I was thinking,
Okay.
why are you guys here? I went back to sleep, and yeah, like, I've done some weird stuff, and obviously, have we all fallen over? Have we all fallen over drunk?
Yes. I fell over at a club
No.
before. I was dancing and fell over, and I was like the only person on the dance floor, and just someone on the corner laughed at me. Like, ha!
Was that the one where you were doing this on the dance floor again,
No,
like
no,
earlier?
this was a separate time. I laughed it off though, because I was that drunk that I was like, haha, funny. I fell over. So, you know, that was at uni. So.
I remember. You ever been to a club and they've got those like punch machines at all?
At a club?
Yeah. Welcome to my
I've never seen
hometown.
one of those at a club.
My hometown has them in clubs. It's basically like where all the chavs go and just try and big up each other. Anyway, I went there early and I was really drunk, so I tried to kick it, and I fell right on my ass. And I can kick high, and I whiffed and just went whack on my ass, and that was it. It was all over. It's always the times where you're trying to act cool, and that's how I died. So the lesson is for Jane and anyone: don't drink, or drink responsibly. Don't do
Drink responsibly.
Don't do what we do.
Know your limits, and don't mix drinks. Don't mix drinks at all.
I can't drink Red Bull because of that. I can't drink
Red
any
Bull
drinks.
is the worst thing. Energy drinks, you should never drink energy drinks with alcohol, and you
Upper and
should
downer.
not drink your type. So don't. If you're having spirits, do not drink beer or wine, and do not drink beer along with wine either. Like, do not mix any of those 3 together. If you're having spirits, just have spirits.
I had energy drink and like rum and Coke all night at my birthday.
Bad, very bad.
I literally have a bottle.
I can't drink rum and Coke anymore.
Really?
Gosh, no.
Oh, that's sad.
It just tastes gross to me now. I'm like, no. It just burns me of throwing up. I'm like, no.
If anything, I can have cocktails, but if I can taste the vodka, I'm sort of just going, oh, hang on.
Well, vodka is like one of the worst things. See, when you're at uni and you you're doing freshers and everyone is poor and they have no money, you end up buying the cheapest things. And some cheapest things when you're doing pre-drinks, we would like, you'll have a few shots going out to a club. We did whiskey shots,
Oh.
which you shouldn't do. And I don't like whiskey anyway. Sorry.
It's fine.
I hate whiskey.
There's the quote.
I have a kind of whiskey that I.
It's fine.
But yeah, no, don't. Just whiskey shots and like the worst vodka shots ever. Just. Oh,
when you see streamers
bad.
doing like shots and stuff in streams, like, oh, if I get 5 followers or someone subscribes, I do a shot. They always do the like wimpy shots, like what are we call it, like sours, like apple sours and stuff, schnapps and all that. And I'm just looking at them going, you wimp. So I decided to do my drinking game where I drank just straight whiskey, and I was drinking Jameson's, if I remember rightly, and I drank the entire thing. And that's when, Haley might not be in chat right now, but they specifically counted how many shots I did, because I was playing Cuphead, and it was every 5 times I die, I take a shot. So that went really far down. Like, I drank way too much, and it got to the point where we were playing PUBG, and the circle came and hit us, and I thought we were normal. Oh, Joe's just gone. Oh no.
Joe left.
Wait for it.
I'm seeing 2.
I can see.
Also, I was drawing myself puking in the toilet.
Okay.
I would like you all to see this.
Oh
This is
god.
great.
I love
It's
that.
amazing.
I love that crescent moon. It's so cute. Just
Thank you.
with the
I
pukes and
know.
stuff. It's pretty cool. Hey Joe, welcome back.
Hi,
you.
sorry, my internet just freaked out for a second.
It's all right. I'm constantly like checking on mine because I'm like, please don't be freezing. It's all good. No, what was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. Oh no.
Talking about PUBG and the circle came in.
Yeah. So when PUBG Circle came in, I didn't realize. So I just kept acting normal, and everyone in chat and stuff were like going, "Oh, it's here." I couldn't see. I was just staring. I could not see what was going on. I was just staring at my body. Then I died, and I was like, "What the fuck, man? Why did I die?" It's just so fucking stupid.
See, like, there are some people who are crazy that can be drunk and do like amazingly at games and drawing and stuff like that. I just lose any kind of coordination with my hands when I get drunk. Like, I remember that time, because Jane, you were there when I did the drunk drawing for my birthday. That was horrendous.
Have you
I
still got the
remember the
pictures?
drunk drawing where I didn't finish a single drawing, but I was there.
And I just drew like the most cursed, horrible shit. Because that's what you do when you're drunk. But I know someone that I've been doing like drawing calls with people recently, where they'll have some drinks and they'll just like still draw amazingly, and I don't get it. It's like, that's some godly power they have. Like,
I don't know. Sometimes it gets you in a flow though, like relaxes you, and then you
True.
can just go into
depends
it.
how much you have.
Yeah, absolutely. Whereas me, I'm the exact same. I'm like, nah, I can't concentrate at all. Like, maybe I'll do. No, I was about to say I'll do a drunk Beat Saber.
Oh
stream,
no!
But I already hit the wall anyway. So it's like,
You'll just like sweat it off, I guess, as well.
oh god, alcohol sweat is the worst kind of sweat, dude. It's
Yeah.
the worst thing.
But at least you'll get sober quickly.
That's very true. I do want to do like drinking games where I'm watching something with my friends and we drink like bingo. Is it bingo? I can't remember what it's called.
Oh, it's like a drinking challenge.
Yeah, I want to do that with my friends and stuff. That's what I want to do. Like watch events or watch someone streaming or something, and just be like, when this happens, you drink this, and because that sounds really fun. But I don't know. People need to set that up for me.
There's that one drinking game where you like tape a hat or something to the TV, and if a hat lines up onto someone's head, you have to-
Yeah.
I love that one.
Yeah, I've
It's
seen that. I remember when I was gaming, and I was a very serious Gears of War player, and my friend Ryan discovered that, because obviously everything's aimed in the middle, like you shoot to the center of the screen basically. So he got a bit of blue tack and put it in the middle of his screen, so he constantly knew where the middle point was. And first off, I was like, "You cheating bastard! Like, how dare you?" And then in my head, I went, "I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna give it a go," and it worked. It's like, oh my god, it's great. fun times with that kind of stuff. Jane, did you watch
Oh my god.
the Game Awards?
No.
No. Me and Joe.
Which is ironic because I'm literally in game design school and I really like games, but I never watch Game Awards or anything. I'm so behind on everything all the time.
Well, you didn't miss too much.
It wasn't that good of a show, personally.
Usually, I'll like look at the memes afterwards because my problem is just that I can't commit to shit like shows or like
Plus,
award
also,
shows.
it's American time zone. Like for me, it was really late. It was like 4 a.m. once it finished, or like
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, it was later than that.
Asleep.
It's
it was
like
6.
yeah, it was about 6.
Yeah.
Because Emily got up like an hour after.
Yeah, I was probably asleep then. So, I mean, for me, it would have been like 7 a.m. then.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I was awake for that. But yeah, I don't know.
It wasn't the most exciting. Like it's the first time I've actually thought to myself, I'm gonna stay up and watch it because I wanted that like experience when you're watching something live and something gets announced. I like that moment where you're like, oh shit, kind of thing. But nothing really happened. Like we dropped the Xbox, the new Xbox. Series X, which is now called Xbox Sex or Sexbox, I think it's called.
People jokes about it, yeah.
Always. Have you seen the fridge ones? And
Is that the fridge?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's the fridge. Okay.
Yeah.
It just looks like a PC tower, but
It's a tower. It's basically a tower, and people made it like a water fountain because of the little grates at the top.
Yeah.
It's so good. I still will not get it because, like, if I want to play an Xbox game, I can just play on my PC now. Most Xbox games are on PC.
It's Microsoft, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of.
But
see, as someone who has an Xbox, and I play it, and I've grown up with consoles and not PC. I just enjoy console gaming over PC. I'm getting more used to PC, but with the system I have, it's not good enough to run most games. So anything that requires any sort of, a high capacity.
Joe, I love how you're trying to describe computers then.
Yeah, I don't know the technical terms.
I'm the exact same way.
But
I'm the exact same way with that kind of stuff. I'm not technical when it comes to my PC.
No.
Like
I pretend like I know things.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But I don't. No, but like I think it depends on like what kind of games you want to play and are interested in because one lends itself to like certain types of games more than the other.
Yeah.
Like shooter games. Usually people like that more on PC because of a mouse and stuff like that. You have more like control over where you're aiming.
I
but
cannot
other
control
people
shooters on a PC.
Me either, because I grew up with like controller stuff, but then it's optimized for the system. So it depends on what you like more, like what kind of games you like, and how you want to control them and stuff like that. I don't know. I think I like PS4 gaming more than I like PC gaming. I play more games on my PS4 than on my PC, even though my PC is pretty good. The only games I play on my PC are like The Sims or Minecraft.
The hardcore stuff.
Yeah, Minecraft, I have to say, I prefer playing Minecraft on PC than on a console.
Because like the point and click shit is just easier.
It took me a while to get used to it.
Most like click games, or like I've been playing Terraria, and I played that with like mouse and keyboard. Just like really simple control stuff. Whereas anything that's like shooters, or I've been trying to play League of Legends, and that is just like you got like the movement key. Well, the movement key is like clicking. You have to like clip to move your character forwards, and then you've got like 4 hotkeys for powers, and then you've got the health one, then you got the defense one, and then you got other. It's like, oh my god, there's too many keys.
Have you seen the mouses? The mouses, nice. Whoop. With like I think my brain just went off then. with like the 10 buttons on the side. So like you have like a mouse like this where you've got that, and then maybe 2 here. But theirs is like just covered. Like it's like buttons 1 to 10 are on the side because that's for those kind of games.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Hardcore gamers, bro.
How do we even like? It's like what button does what?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like it took me a long time to get used to keyboard and mouse because I remember when I first got my PC, the first game I played was Overwatch, and the biggest thing I saw when it came to playing it was because I loved it on the Xbox. I played it for hours and hours and hours on Xbox, but then I moved on to PC, and then I saw what 30 frames looked like, and then 60 frames looked like, and I remember just playing it going, oh my god, this is so much different and better, and I was terrible because I didn't know how to do the WSD keys, I
Yeah.
was just all over the place. So it's almost like when, like, Emily's not a gamer, bless her. So if I give her a controller, she will. We tried playing Left 4 Dead, I believe. So it was the whole like looking up and then walking forward
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I vividly remember one of like my earliest game memories was playing the first Halo on the original Xbox. With those massive controllers, not one of these ones,
That was so
but like
ugly.
just like moving the toggles and just like looking at the ceiling, looking at the ground, going in circles. I remember the flood coming, and I was just in the corner of the room, going in circles, looking up and down on the floor. And my stepbrother was just like, "Fucking shoot them!" And I was just like, "I don't know what to do."
To be fair,
Like, oh
I
god,
think that was everyone's reaction to the flood in Halo. I remember playing that part, and just wasn't it the music? It was a musical score what came in, and I remember just listening, going, "Oh my god, what the fuck's going on?" And then also, and you're like, "Ah!"
like, what is it?
It was so good.
So
I
good.
need
I
to
need to
play more
revisit
games.
Halo at some point. We should play Halo.
I've never played a Halo game.
Oh, Halo is such a classic. It's why I want to play Destiny
Dude,
once I get a
I'm-
better setup, because
It's fun.
I'm such a fake gamer. Like, I'm literally in, like, again, like, I'm in game design school. I learned all about it. Like, I know the history of video games. I know where it started. I know, like, systems and shit like that. I never play games. Like, I'm interested in, like, making them, but not playing them. It's so weird.
we spend all your time designing and making them rather than playing. But also, we're artists, so we either split our time drawing all the time and never playing any games, or we game all the time and then never draw.
It's something.
Yeah, so...
Oh,
Yeah.
it's something I had to learn, like, because I get into this habit where I would only game when I'd stream or record. I didn't game for myself, and I had to, like, sort of relearn that, and that's only just recently happened, because I just don't. I really want to. Like, the first game I started actually playing for myself was Outer Wilds, which everyone should play because it's amazing.
I started playing that recently.
Oh,
I started it.
Yes.
But that I've been in a very similar place recently where I just like threw myself into game streaming like in the later half of this year.
Mhm.
And I started just being like, oh, I must play this game on stream and I have to stream it, or like I have to do this and I have to do that.
Yeah.
And then like I never played any of my Xbox games unless I was playing games with like friends who wanted to. But I then just never played anything for myself. It was always like, oh, play with friends or stream it, and then I just didn't have the time for it. But then Borderlands 3 came out, and I couldn't stream that anyway because I got that on Xbox. And I just solidly spent all my time playing that on my own, and that was great. And then
I remember that.
yeah,
You were gone.
I was gone. I was just like, I am Borderlands now, and I'm gone forever. And that's come back again because the DLC has come out, and it's pretty good. So
It
far.
brought you back in, did it? Because I know you said you were
Yes.
kind of disappointed with the story.
Yes, I was very disappointed in the ending of Borderlands 3. I'm not going to spoil it, but
No.
very disappointed as someone who's been following the series for quite a while.
A little bit.
The writing was like bad, and my favorite characters got like fucking destroyed, and I'm very sad about it.
I
Cough,
was
cough.
so disappointed in that game, like personally, because I enjoyed it, the gameplay. But then I
The
just
gameplay is really enjoyable.
Yeah.
I like the sliding. I like the being able to like vault up objects and over
the
things.
Apex Legends stuff, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
like I like that sort of stuff where it just feels so much more improved playable wise, but then story, characters, world building, it looks great. Like the world looks cool. I like space and everything about that. That's great. You know, everything else isn't great. But I do have to say the DLC, I don't want to spoil the DLC, but the fact that it's like, you know, the handsome jackpot.
Yeah.
And he's my favorite character. So that brought me back, and it is good so far. The writing of that is better than the entire main game.
That sucks. Person in chat, Tris Ryan actually said it's Titanfall who did it first, which is true. Yeah, Titanfall
That
did
is
it,
true.
and then
but
Apex did it.
Yeah, Titanfall did like wall running stuff as well. Like you could jump and like run across the walls, whereas Apex can't do that.
Titanfall
You
was
can just climb up.
fucking awesome. Like,
I never got to play it because I didn't have anything I could play it on at the time. I always just watched people play it, and it looks so fun. I got to get into that at
just
some point.
big mecha. It was this big mecha fighting.
Big robots dropping from the sky.
Oh yeah, I remember just seeing the first like doing it the very first time you play it, and you call in your Titan, and it just goes, and it drops like a superhero. You're like, ah, I am anime. It's so good. It's so good.
I love shit like that. So good.
I'm trying to think what actually happened at the Game Awards, because like not much really. Oh no, Jane. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I like Game Talk, but like all the games they're talking about, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
What
games?
Go on, Jane. Let's talk about games what you like.
Well, you got super into Detroit, right? You played that on the PS4.
Thumper was really fucking cool. Thumper. I'm just immediately my head goes like Thumper. I was gonna say Detroit was really fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like story-driven games. I think I was gonna say like about I've never played Borderlands, but it sounds to me like it's just a general like thing. The balance of a game is so difficult to get right. So either like you have really fucking good controls, but the story kind of sucks, which is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Or the story is really fucking good, but the controls kind of lack, which is kind of something that Detroit has. It's like a storytelling game, and it focuses all on the story. But I mean, you walk around, you know. And, that's
it's
kind
a
of
point and click interactive, you know.
It's an interactive story. Yeah, it's odd, but it's interesting. Like that's the stuff that I like kind of about games. I like analyzing shit so much.
Have you played The Walking Dead at all?
No, but I know like about the series. And
Walking Dead season 1 is incredible, like really great.
The writing is amazing.
Fantastic.
In the first season, and it kind of like it degrades with every season more and more. I feel like, but I mean, they also had a couple like issues at the end.
That was
like the series, so that is fair.
I still don't know what that story was about. Not Walking Dead. I mean, with Telltales.
Oh, they became bankrupt, didn't they?
I mean, they weren't able to pay their employees. Am I right? And then
I think they had to hand over the production to like another team or something like that at the end.
Yeah.
They've just announced another game coming out. It's a sequel to Wolf Among Us. Yeah, Wolf Among Us is.
Wolf Among Us is cool.
I was about to say, I think it's very up your style. I think that's your style a lot, because I really liked it. It goes by the is it Grimm Tales or something? You know, the fairy tales, but it's
Grimoire Tales, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
The Brothers Grimm.
Brothers Grimm. People in chat, you can help as well.
Like Grimoire or something else. That's like a book of demons.
I can't remember at all. But like, yeah, the aesthetic of that is really cool, because it's like all neon, and it's the fairy tales, and you play as who do you play as? The wolf, right? Well, obviously the fucking wolf. The wolf. Oh my god. Of course, it's the wolf. It's
Maddie would know if she's in chat, because Maddie likes the Wolf Among Us. Oh, what's his name?
I can't remember now.
I said it in the trailer for the second one. Oh, Big V. That's it. Big
V. Yes. Yes.
Because I never played it or watched anyone play it, but there you go, Maddie.
I really liked it. I think it was just really. I think aesthetically I prefer that to The Walking Dead, just because of the world in it.
That's a cool theme, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool aesthetic theme with the neon colors and like the grim like comic look. It's just very unique looking, I think. Whereas Walking Dead is lacking color a lot, which is to sell like the grim nature of the game, which is totally fine. That's storytelling tool. You can do that. It's totally cool. But I think personally, like I prefer the color palette of the Wolf Among Us too.
I never got into Wolf Among Us. I don't think I ever watched anyone play it either. But talking about Borderlands again, but Tales from the Borderlands.
That's really
even
good.
though it's still like it is very good. Like some of the writing in like the last couple of episodes is a bit off, because they did have to rush the ending because of all the stuff that happened at Telltale as well. Like they started going a bit downhill, and then they ended up with the skeleton crew. They had to like finish off like the last 2 episodes, and some of the story that they were going to do in the beginning part didn't go into the end, and they kind of like made it up as they went along. But it's got so many just good moments in it, and you know, Handsome Jack and fucking Troy Baker is
Joe's just like Troy Baker and Handsome Jack.
Troy Baker and Damian Clark. My favorite.
That's what's on your shelf behind you. It's just all their pictures and stuff in there.
I don't have a Reese, because they don't sell any sort of Reese merchandise ever.
That's surprising.
hate him as a character now. So that's sad.
The
I'll just have like a photo of Troy Baker. It's like, there you go.
The Troy
It's like a
Baker's
big face of
shrine.
Troy's-
Just Troy's face, just like crying, like ah.
Have you?
Just in the background, in your background, like on the wall. Just tape it on
Just
there.
like just the Troy face is like poking and like. Hi.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Every
God.
time you lose in a game, you're just like, and then he's crying in the background.
Yeah. See, when I finally play Death Stranding, I'll just be like Mads and Troy, just like.
Dude, Death Stranding. Okay. Oh my god, I like Death Stranding. So I think I talked to you guys in the
You did.
server about this as well.
Yeah.
I have so many opinions about Death Stranding because I feel like I can judge it as a cinematic piece
Mhm.
because I really like movie critics and stuff like that, like movie analyzing stuff and
Sure.
story bits. So like I'm having such a hard time like not even criticizing the game, but like analyzing the game because it's like it's a movie at this point. Like it's a really fucking long
Yeah.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
But like as for I don't know, like the gameplay is cool. I think from what I've seen, I haven't played it yet, but like from what I've seen, like the gameplay is really fucking cool. Like they're you haven't played it yet, Joe, right?
I've seen what the gameplay is like. That's the only thing I really know about it is
There-
like
there
how
is-
it plays and the kind
yeah.
of like the technicalities to it. But that's kind of it.
They do have like the walking stuff, which is, I think, unnecessary. I don't know. I mean, it's about like walking and like hurdles and
Yeah, it kind of makes sense
distance
for that to
stuff.
be a very big part of like the actual gameplay. Is
If you didn't have to do that, it would just literally be
it would just be
pressing
a
one
walking
button.
simulator.
It
It
would
would
just
just
be
be like
like-
a Telltale game. It would just be like
Yeah.
move this cursor and move that way, and it's like that.
Yeah, that would be boring. So it fits for that thing, but they
Yeah.
also do like switch up of the mechanics at some point. They do like a shooter like bit.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, quite a lot. I think most of like the Mads Mikkelsen stuff is shooter, whereas like everything else is walking.
Hmm.
So I didn't know if you knew that.
Oh, you,
So I'm
you see it
sorry,
in
I-
the trailer. You see the shooting in the trailer in the end.
Yeah,
There's-
I've seen because there's like the whole bit with Mads being like the war. I don't know how that comes about, but that seems kind of cool.
I haven't
It's
touched it
weird.
for ages. I need to go back into it.
Yeah.
Like it's
The
Go-
story is interesting, definitely. I'm not gonna spoil like why and stuff like that, but at some points it feels a little bit rushed. I think it's odd.
rushed and it's like a 40-hour game. Is it 40 hours?
Yeah, it's 40 hours, but like the actual like story bits are like so far apart.
I get you.
If you put them together, it's like kind of like a weird pacing. I
Oh,
think it's
and
weird.
I remember you discussing that because
You
you said
watch like a full cinematic.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting way of doing it because like I feel like that's too much going off and then it does feel rushed. kind of thing.
It's
That's
a
like-
lot
that's
of
like if you
dragging
try
in the
to-
beginning, and in the end it's
Yeah.
a lot of rushing. Where I'm
Mm.
like, why?
I feel like
Um,
that's like equivalent to trying to watch an entire TV show that has like multiple seasons in like one day.
Yeah.
Like that would just feel too much. You'd be like, "What the
Hmm.
fuck is happening? How has this gone from this?" Because you're just like, you just have too much information thrown at you. So,
True.
whereas playing it in a game when you can, get the pacing and stuff. Again, I haven't
Yeah.
played it myself. I want to.
Plus when you're in just mid game, not the cutscenes, there's a lot of context. Like so you'll
They have all that
Eh,
in it as well. It's
oh,
not just
so
they do have like bits where he walks and where he talks.
so
to
even,
other
even if
characters,
like
so it's
you
the
even if
entire
you click
story
on
in one
missions,
minute.
like because sometimes you click on
Mhm.
missions and it'll explain everything
Yep.
about that mission.
That's-
Okay, that's cool.
That's all in there. There's like transcripts, everything is in there. That's why it's so long because all the stuff is also cut in.
Oh, okay,
So the
that's fair.
actual cutscene bits, I think, are much less long. It's really just like the long bits are like the walking to get there because there's also dialogue when he's walking, and that takes a couple minutes to be over. So that adds onto it, and I think that's why I'm like having issues with the pacing of the thing because it's a lot of like thrown in between stuff,
Mm.
and then like the cutscenes work on their own already. I don't know. It's
No, I get
it's
you.
an interesting concept. I like it as it is. I just think if it's more cinematic, there are pacing issues. But if you see it as a game, then there's like just dragging issues.
I feel
like,
like
a lot.
I think it depends on what kind of mood you're in as well. Because like
Mhm.
Yeah.
for me, I just literally walking across a land or trying to get over a fucking river, what's like this big, and all that kind of stuff is kind of nice because it's a different pace to what you're used to. Because most games, it's just
Fair.
it's over. Everything's just fucking in your face. You got okay. I'm going to go back to Borderlands and stuff because it's just splashing color, this over ADHD kind of stuff. Like just everything's everywhere, just trying to grab your attention, everything. Whereas in Death Stranding, it's like okay, just stop and just look and just embrace that kind of stuff and just take your time.
Yeah.
Like the pacing, because it's so different to what we're used to, is really nice. And it, oh, I think we've frozen mine. Okay, we're good. Thank God. Oh, thank fuck.
Okay.
But
I think, it is really interesting that you bring that up, because I think for me, I have an issue when it's forced onto you. Because if you can decide, okay, I'm gonna take my time with this, and I'm gonna chill a little bit, I'm gonna look at the scenery, and if then like music comes in and like it actually like accommodates to that need for you, that would be great.
those
However,
moments.
I feel like it's kind of like an issue in this game specifically, that you're kind of forced to take your time, you know, because some people like to get to the point and just see the story, and I think that's why it's so split, you know, because if it's like an open world game, usually you have like the option to, like I don't even see this as an like an open world like
It's
RPG game. It's just not. It's an open world but story based game.
It's a giant corridor. It's a really, really wide corridor,
It's
and you're always headed down it.
And it's just like also like having to backtrack all the time, and like, you know, it's like for some people that's fucking amazing and they love like spending a lot of time, like you said, you know, it's really cool, but other people it's just not their cup of tea.
It just depends what you're used to, you know? In the end.
I've heard things from, because I've only seen like one review of it, which was like a non-spoiler review, where if you want to, you can choose not to do some of just like the boring walking around package delivery stuff. You can choose to just go straight ahead with the story stuff, and miss out on just some details if you wanted to just go ahead with it, or you can do everything, which is the issue with, I know when I get into it, because when I played Borderlands 2 for the first time, I played start to finish, playing both the main story and completing all of the side quests in each area before I moved on to the next one. And I know if I play Death Stranding, I will be playing that for like the rest of the year.
It's like... there's a bit where there's like, let's say there's 3 points. There's like the home base, there's an intermediate bit, and another bit, and you can just go boop boop and then carry on. But on the way, so you go to the second bit, distribution center, whatever it's called. On the way to the third bit, you find something what you could take back to the original part, and you find it, and you go, oh, should I bring it with me? Should I go back? And I always go back. I'm such a bastard for it. And then things load up again, so you'll go to the original place, and on the way back, as you're going, oh, I've done that now, other things pop in, so you constantly go back and back, and you get like little trinkets on your outfit if you do enough of it, and it's like all these little things to keep you wanting to do it. And oh my god, it's
if you're into it, it definitely rewards you as well. Like it's not a badly designed game, it's just like a very specific game for like a very specific like group of people that enjoy like that, just taking their time and exploring things like thoroughly. I think
I've done that with sorry to interrupt, but like I'm very much the kind of person that will explore like every single area I can. Like when I played Borderlands 3, I explored every single corner of the map to try and find like, because like there's in Borderlands 3 there's like extra stuff which you have to find, or you look up tutorials online how to find them, of like secret things that just add on to like voice memos and audio logs and like extra story stuff and side character things, and or stuff to give you like extra points and things, because there's like iridium tech that you can find and unlock and find out the secrets of the lore of Borderlands and things. Like I love that kind of stuff where there's just so much of like so many tiny details. Like I love the addition of the trinkets on the guns, and like you can change the weapon skins, and you can change like, and there's so many gun types, there's so many different textures and colors, and like that's the sort of stuff that I love. And as much as sometimes, because like the disappointment with Borderlands is that like it can't live up to the second one, because that had an amazing story. As much as like some of the gameplay was like dated, because you know it was made in like 2000 and something.
It is old, yeah.
2007. Like
really?
it's kind. I don't know if it's that old. Don't know if the first one came out in 2007, because I know that Tales from the Borderlands and the pre-sequel came out in 2013. And then Borderlands 2 came out way before that. But either way,
I'm trying to find it. Is this something...
It's quite old, but it still lives up. But the gameplay is like 2000. Really? 2012?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Borderlands 2.
Yep. Yeah. 18th of September 2012.
Wow. Or maybe the first one came out in 2007 then.
Maybe.
That makes more sense. But yeah. Anyway.
It's an interesting one as well because like you're talking
Yeah.
about the dopamine, what you're basically getting every time you get a new skin and stuff, and Death Stranding basically is talking about that where you in Borderlands in Death Stranding. Have you seen like the enemies? What you can get in Death Stranding? The mules.
NPCs and
No,
mules,
not
yeah.
not yeah, mules more than anything. So one little thing is that delivering is addictive basically, and you know how we're talking about wanting to drop more stuff off, and you find something you want and because you get that feeling, that's basically baked into the game's story, and
Yeah.
so you basically like it talks about drugs and all this kind of stuff, but they actually I don't know what it's called. I don't know what there's a certain thing in it, but it's basically the dopamine hit you get when you make a delivery,
Hmm.
and the people who are like mules, they basically become that because they're addicted to that feeling of making a delivery. And that's it. So it's talking about a dopamine hit, and
Yeah.
it's basically a reflection on what we were talking about with Borderlands, where it's a constant like, yeah, you did this, you shoot someone, it sparks, and it's like, whoa,
Yeah. And you get like you kill a boss and you get a legendary weapon. You can stick that on your wall. It's like so much stuff. And it's like playing started well, I don't really have much games that I can compare it to, but I started playing a game called Ruiner recently because it was on Game Pass and it's really cool. It's like a Devolver game, and Devolver games tend to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's like a top-down where you just kind of like control the kind of angle of the shooting of the character.
Yeah, sure.
One of those games. And you have like skill things where you can like speed jump and like slide down enemies. You're essentially like a robot hitman thing.
Sure.
But with that game, you can find like really cool weapons in the environment. So like you can go up to this like podium thing and hack it, and it unlocks, and you get like a really massive like minigun weapon thing to like mow down enemies. But yeah, that's the only thing I can think of that I played recently because I haven't been playing much apart from like lots of Borderlands and lots of multiplayer games, which is why I'm talking about Borderlands a lot.
Jane, what's your favorite game ever?
Thumper, and it's
Is it
interesting 'cause
really?
because I was just going to talk about the like dopamine thing. I think it's really different for like what kind of rewards people want. Because I don't care about weapons or anything like in games. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I actually like it more when I don't get extra stuff and I can beat the game with like the bare essentials. Because for me, like the challenge is more like actually getting the challenge done or like having it harder than I need to. For me, it's like more rewarding when I actually get something done. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So as for like story bits, I think in Death Stranding, because like I think someone in chat like that Aspie just said that as well. Death Stranding gives a lot of information at you already.
Yeah.
So like for me, I like for stuff like that or games like that, especially also like Detroit, because we brought that up as well. Pacing, like actually getting the pacing to feel natural, like an actual movie, for me is more important than actually getting all the bits. At least in the first playthrough, I can always play it again if I want to, and then get all the stuff.
I get you.
But so for me, it's like the feeling. That's why I like Thumper so much, because if you get the beat just right, it's so rewarding.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
Yeah.
It feels so good, and that is actually what like just edges me on to like get like better points and stuff, because you just get them as a side bonus for actually getting the beat done right.
I've had
It's not about the points. It's about like the beat being good, basically.
Yeah. I had that with a game called Muse Dash that's on Steam. It was basically it was like a suggested game for me. It was like £2 on sale. I was like, I'll get it. It's one of those like Japanese anime beat games, and the characters are kind of cool. I was like, what, I can just waste some time in this game. But it's exactly that thing where like you could just, if you get it exactly on the beat, it just feels great, and then you're like, oh, I could do that as a better score. I'm gonna redo that and get a higher score, and like
I can get better at this. Like it like motivates you to get better because you want to get better, because you want to you want to have the reward of it sounding good. So that's like whole like, dude, I did like a whole essay on that in school. Like that's the shit that like really drives me, like with games and like designing them. If I can like design a game ever where it's like, okay, you want to get better at a score, or you want to like experience the story like a certain way, that is maybe harder but like more rewarding. If I can make it feel more rewarding without like throwing like stuff like weapons at you, just for like the pacing being better or something like that, I don't know.
I get
That's
you.
like
Well, there's
Perfect. You know?
the idea of trying to go through a game with the bare essentials is a lot of things I love about horror games. Like
Yeah.
we talked about this before, but like with more so Silent Hill than Resident Evil, because Resident Evil throws guns at you occasionally. Well, apart from the old games used to like have to try and survive with the bare essentials you have.
That's proper survival horror, yeah.
Like Resident Evil 2, oh boy, I played that, and you play as Leon and then you play as Claire. Whereas
You have to plan ahead.
yeah, whereas with the remake, you can choose to start as one or the other. Whereas this, you had to start as Leon, and then the second disc, you then played as Claire. But then with that, if you used up too much of the ammo in the environment, too much of the health, if you take everything, and then you try and play as Claire and go in the same environment, it's all gone.
Yeah.
Because Leon took it all.
Mm-hmm.
And Claire is like, where is everything?
Yeah.
And like if you take certain guns and special things, she then doesn't have it. And it's like you then have to think ahead and try and manage your resources between two characters. And that is like an amazing concept. I love that sort of stuff.
That's really fucking good game design. So I love that. When you told me about that the first time, like I have Resident Evil 2 too, like the remake of it. I've been playing that on my own time as well. It's really fucking good. It's
yeah,
really
and also the fact that like you can't autosave. You had to find
you have to find the save points.
You had to find the ribbons to use for the save points. You had to find them. If you didn't have any save ribbons, you then couldn't save.
Yeah, that's different in the remake. In the remake, you have to get to like the typewriter. Yeah. But I really like the mechanic of the ribbons too. So it's a lot of planning and actually surviving. It's really good.
You can choose to play the. You can choose to play the game as the original version, but it's counted as like the supreme hard mode because like most old games were just like that. They were so hard compared to most recent games. I feel like most games now they've got like auto saves and like you know when you're coming up to a boss, you're like, okay, I'm gonna save now and they'll be fine, and then I can just redo it if I can go back. And like most old games, you didn't have that choice. You're like,
wouldn't that be to do with
massive section again?
Wouldn't that be to do with the memory space though? Because that's it's basically working around a mechanic that you've only got a little memory card. What was like not like 100 megabytes or something like that. Yeah. So you couldn't do
autosaves. They didn't have the technology for autosaves at the time. Like that just wasn't a thing. You had to manually
save. Not a lot of people played games back in the day. Gotta say that.
Yeah.
It was significantly less people played games or could afford playing games.
Most people play. Like, and the games are such a massive market now.
Yeah. So now it's like you wanna actually be able to sell your game to like a broader audience and like to most people, if not all people on the market.
Yeah. Well, that's what free to play is in the end.
So you have to accommodate to players that might not be able to, like in a normal game mode, find ribbons and stuff like that. It's still in the game because the game mechanic is good. It's got this hard mode because it makes you feel better when you can.
Yeah.
When you can beat the game in normal mode. That's why normal mode and easy mode and stuff like that it exists because
that's when you sort of go back onto what you were talking about earlier, Jane, where you talk about replayability factors. So Resident Evil 2, it's I think there's like 6 games in it or something like that where it's you play as Leon first, then Claire, or Claire first, then Leon, and then you like swap it around and there's hard mode, easy mode, and there's a definitive version of it and all this kind of stuff. But you can even just set yourself a challenge where it's like, well, actually, pretty much what you're talking about, where you got ranking systems in it, where at the end it told you how well you did. So it's like, okay, did you get hit? Did you die? Did you use the first aid spray, or did you just use herbs? It's like in Resident Evil 4, for some reason, I like first aid spray in Resident Evil 4 is like the plague to me. Yeah, it's like the plague to me. It's like I don't want to use that. Like that's the way out. So I'll only stick to the other things. And I think it was because in some, it might even be Resident Evil 4, I don't know, but using a first aid spray goes against your score in the end. I believe that was a mechanic. I could be talking out my arse, but
I don't know.
I think it was. I think there's something about it where, and at the end you'll get certain ranks and certain rewards for it. Like you get the laser gun or infinite launcher, I believe, like because of certain things. And one thing I liked about that was that's like the action version of that system. But then Silent Hill does it where it's like if you do, I think I prefer Silent Hill personally for this because it's like if you look after your character in a certain way, or you treat your character nicely, or treat people in the environment in a nice way, you get this ending. If you treat him like
multiple
shit,
endings.
then yeah, you get multiple endings. You can get a goddamn dog ending, an alien ending,
Yeah.
and all this kind of stuff, because it's
It's like extra funny stuff because you know what Japanese games are like. They're just like, here's a random weird cookie funny ending. Here
Yep.
you go. And then it's like for a game like Silent Hill, it's so jarring. 'Cause it's like there's suddenly a dog controlling the entirety of Silent Hill, and it's the dog's fault that everything's hell. And it's like what? What the? Okay,
Jane
who
doesn't
were you
look
guys
impressed.
smoking that made that?
I've never like played Silent Hill, but that shit's just fucking amazing.
Because
I
like
love-
I kind
love
of
that
do
shit.
like that with horror games where they have like a funny thing to lighten up the mood. Otherwise, it's just like it's so dark and depressing. It's
Generally, like just taking like the game product not as seriously as a lot of people sometimes do, especially like AAA. Like, of course, AAA titles are taken super seriously, and then but that's what I love about like indie titles as well. Some people just like they make a really good horror game, but then you have like this unlockable like weird shitty like
outtakes.
Like, there was this outtakes or like I don't know, just not like just doing stuff for fun. It's great. I love that.
I'm gonna put one out for that for an indie horror game, which I told you to play, Dave, which is Faith.
Yes.
Which is so good.
I need to
that's
play
like the most fun I've had playing a horror game because I streamed that as well, and it was just so funny because when you die, it became almost a joke. That it was just like because when you die, it then is like plays like a da da and then mortis, and then like it just becomes like a. It like if you die too often, it's like da da mortis da da mortis.
Yeah, yeah.
It becomes like a funny part of it, and then also you find things in the environment that are like references to this some other kind of like horror film or like a really funny weird thing, and like I like stuff with games like that it just has like kind of little details you can just find in the environment. It's just like okay,
I definitely want to play it. I've got it. I've actually got it listed as one of the games I want to play. Just gotta get around to it, really. Yeah,
because it's Faith and it's Faith 2. I haven't played the third one that's out now. That came out recently. But it's part 1, part 2, part 3. But it's very good.
So Jane, have you actually played any of those games like Silent Hill, Resident Evil, or
Resident Evil 2? Yeah, I have that, like the remake. But when I was probably a little bit tinier than you guys were. When you guys played those other games, I didn't have access to like consoles or stuff like that until I was a little bit older. Then obviously I didn't play horror games. So.
Yeah.
You like sort of skipped over.
I totally skipped over horror games, like especially the older ones, and I'm sad about that because they look really fucking fun.
Well, actually, just thinking about it, yeah, you were 2000, weren't you? Were you a 2000 baby?
I was born 2000, yeah.
Yeah, so you're talking 90. Well, for these games, 1996, 7, 8, I think. So yeah, you definitely got skipped over there.
The only reason I played any of these games is because my family play games. Like my stepdad and my mum literally found each other and got together because of video games. Because they both liked Tomb Raider. So they kind of related on that. So I grew up with playing the Sega Mega Drive and playing Sonic and all of those old games because my stepdad had that console. And then he would then give us his old consoles when he upgraded his. So he would upgrade to a PS2, he gave us his PS1. And then we got his old PS2, and then he got the new PS2. And then like it kept going on like that until he then got Xbox, and then I got his old Xbox 360. And it's like all the PS1 games I had. And because they also love horror, everything horror. My family love horror. Yeah. We then have all the Resident Evils, all the Silent Hills, like so many horror games, like really old classics. As well as like lots of fighter games, so like Tekken and Calibur and like just got so many classic games. So I'm kind of grateful that my family enjoyed that sort of stuff. Otherwise, I wouldn't be into this sort of stuff now, probably.
My family, my mom specifically, we got like a PS1 I think at some point or PS2. I don't remember, but I remember. My mom really liked Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia's good, dude.
My mom liked that as well. Yeah.
That was my first ever like console game that I've ever played.
Really?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's a good one. It really is. Life is Strange ruins that though, because like in the only reason I don't like Life is Strange is the idea that your choices don't actually matter because you can just rewind time and start again. It's like, oh, okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Prince of Persia is very good. Prince of Persia. I remember that mechanic. Really well. In Prince of Persia, and I remember because it made that like kind of noise, and it's like, it's so cool.
I think I played that. Hold on.
second one.
I think I gotta like.
Sands
figure
of
out which
Time
one
was
I
the
actually-
first one, wasn't it? Prince of Persia:
Yeah.
Sands of Time. I can't remember the second one at all.
We definitely had that one. My family would
This
have like
one.
game nights where we'd watch each other play games, and mostly we just watch my parents play. But we definitely remember playing Prince of Persia.
Did you
That-
guys?
Yeah, Sands of Time
I
on the
played that.
PlayStation 2.
I'm gonna have to. I'm
Oh
gonna
my
have to find it.
God.
We had every single like this one as
Sands
well.
of Time's
shit.
great.
We had all Prince of Persia games. I remember, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
binged those. Like I played through those so hardcore. I consider myself a gamer when it comes. I really want to play it again because it was like my favorite game ever, and then I've never played it again since I was like.
It's really
I don't
good.
know.
It was a solid
I'm
game.
I'm trying to think of like, what would be your first game that you ever played, Dave? Like ever played?
We talked about that on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Because I think I know mine, and it's pretty funny.
I have like a few, and I'm trying to think because the games what I love to play is one thing, but the original games I don't know. Like
I guess most memorable game that you played either as a kid, like the first thing you played on a console that you really remember playing.
Tombi
Tombi.
or Tomba. It was by the creators of the character design was the creator of Dragon Ball Z, and it was like this weird spiky haired, pink haired kid, and he had like a weird ball and chain thing, and you basically be attacking pigs, and it sounds really dumb.
Interesting game. Well, my one's gonna sound dumber. Do you know Cooler World?
Oh, Cooler World's great.
Fucking, you're a ball. You're a fucking
Yes.
ball. You're like a volleyball-looking thing, and you bounce from thing to thing, and it's like a puzzle platformer game, but you're a ball, and you eat fruit for some reason as
I
a
remember
ball.
that.
But yeah, I remember playing that as a kid so much. That and the first Crash Bandicoot and Crash Bash. Those were like the main ones for me.
I'm trying to think. I have visions of my mum playing Spyro.
Ah, Spyro.
Spyro
I
was...
remember Spyro in my childhood, but I don't know in what context. I believe it was a McDonald's. like they gave you like McDonald's like tiny consoles with Spyro, and I remember I had a McDonald's game of Spyro. I remember that.
Oh, was that the
Really?
days where they'd give you like demo discs? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was it.
I had like an entire booklet full of demo discs that we collected from either like McDonald's things or like other things that my stepdad had, or like magazines would have demo discs in them. God, no, I remember those. Holy shit.
Demo
I want
discs
to
are
look that
great.
up now.
Yeah.
Demo
I want to
discs
try
are
and
always
dig them
hard.
out at some point, because there was this one game that I played on a demo disc, which was like a
this one.
snowboarding game. I think it was like Cyberduck or something.
Cyberduck.
I think it was called Cyberduck, where like you would be snowboarding down this hill, and there'll be ducks that would go. Not ducks. Wait, penguins. That's it. Penguins would go in front of you, and they make this like whack whack noise. And if you crashed into them, you fell over, and people will then spin past you.
Why does that?
Found them.
Why does that ring a
Found them.
bell? Why does that ring
You
a
might
bell
have
to
played
me?
it.
Oh my god!
Those! I remember those.
Yep, I
So
had
look-
one of
Oh my
those,
God,
and that was
little-
Spyro.
like, Game Boy
Oh
thing.
yeah, I remember that.
Oh god, that brings back so many memories.
I thought you meant like they
Holy
gave you
crap.
the actual goddamn game. But yeah, I remember them. They were great.
Yeah. See, I remember
that might
those,
have
but
been.
they
that
definitely
might
did
have
give
been
you
my
demo.
actual
Maybe not
first game.
McDonald's, but definitely demo disc things were a thing.
They were the
But
hypest.
I had a Game Boy though. That's the only Nintendo thing I have was a Game Boy and a Game Boy Advance. I had those two.
I
That's
had
the only thing.
I had a pink Game Boy Advance, or Nintendo Advance, like the pink. Hold on, I'm gonna like
The
actually
square one.
Yeah, the pink square one, and I had Aladdin on it. I had
Nice.
Aladdin on it. That was my first actual like handheld console that I owned.
Handheld, yeah. So I had the Game Boy Color, and I had Pokemon Silver on it. And
Okay.
I'm not super into Pokemon. I want to try. I've been trying to get into it recently, actually.
Same
But I
here.
have no Nintendo consoles to play it. So, and also I tried to revive my Game Boy. It's dead. So.
Ah, I had the Game Boy original, which is like 1989 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I think Game Boy Color was the same thing where it wasn't backlit, so you had to shine a torch. So if you were trying to play
I
it at
remember
night,
the little plug-in torches that you would have to.
yeah, it was
you get
like a
those
screen, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. And I remember playing the original Mario on that stuff, and it was so good because the little dots and that was so cool. And then the Game Boy Color came out, and I fell in love. Like I felt Pokemon. It was Pokemon, and I just played hours and hours and hours of it. And I'm similar to you now. Like, I want to play Pokemon, but
Yeah, see, I never got into it because my sister was like super into Pokemon. So, me and my two sisters, we all got a Game Boy Color, all of us, and we all got three different versions of Pokemon. So I got Pokemon Silver, my sister got Pokemon Sapphire, and then one of them got Ruby. So we then would like play our own versions of the games. And then like my older sister was just so into it. You know when someone's just like so massively obsessed with something that it puts you off? You're like, I'm just not gonna get into that now. That's the reason why I never got into Harry Potter or Star Wars either, because she was like,
Same.
Star Wars, Harry Potter, Pokemon. It was like, I guess I'm just not gonna get into those.
wow.
Because
Oh,
I just
God.
grew up with her going on about it constantly as a kid, and me as a little kid being like, "Eh, shut up, sibling." I was just like,
I'm not gonna be like you. You're not cool.
I never got
But
into
I
Harry
do
Potter.
appreciate
anything.
Pokemon, but
Say again, Jane.
I never got into like Pokemon or Harry Potter or stuff like that for the same reasons, because everybody around me always talked about it, and I was like, that's probably not as cool as you think it is. So I never got into it. I was the
tried
original
to-
hipster.
I tried to read the first book and I just couldn't get on with the writing. I was like,
I wish I could
this is
read
not my
properly.
thing.
I can't read for shit.
I used to read a lot more, but I don't really now.
Dude, I don't know if you know,
With my
like,
bookshelf of Good Omens and Sherlock Holmes.
I was just gonna say Good Omens, but also there's this one like trilogy. I think there's more books now, but it's like the Maze Runner series.
Oh yeah.
That was like the first and only book series where I got like so massively into it that I read all 3 books in like 2 days.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I remember as a kid, I read the Darren Shan series, which is like the vampire one, where like the kid gets turned into a vampire and he has to like learn how to be a vampire, and he gets tutored by this like teacher guy. It's pretty good, but then they made a really horrendous film about it, and it was not great.
I kind of want to see it because you say it's bad.
I didn't watch it because I watched the trailer for it and I watched clips of it and I just cringed so much I just couldn't.
Oh, I want to see that now though.
Did you guys ever read Goosebumps?
Yeah, I read some of them. I didn't read a lot, but I definitely read some.
You can't ask me that because Germany. The titles are all different.
Oh yeah, good
wouldn't-
point.
I wouldn't know what that would be in Germany. So
I don't know actually.
Goosebumps is like
American, wasn't
let me see if there's like an equivalent
Dun, dun,
that it would be
dun,
called
dun,
something
dun.
else.
Oh yeah.
It's like the spooky ghost sort of thing.
Spooky
Wait.
ghost stories. It was good. It was pretty good. We should move on to some games, by the way.
Oh
What-
yeah.
We should.
What game shall we play? Shall we play Don't Starve? Because then Joe can command us, Jane. We can be the dumb fucks, and then
Sure.
Joe can be the one who commands us and tells us to do it correctly or not at all.
Sure.
Okay, so Goosebumps was called. I'm gonna really pronounce this badly. I'm sorry, Jane.
looking
It's
forward
like
to
Ganshout.
it. Get out.
What?
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I mean, I know the word for goosebumps in German.
There we go.
I don't know if that was actually the title of the.
Yeah, so the covers of them have that, but just in the Goosebumps writing, where it's all like drippy green text.
Joe, I can't believe you
Okay.
tried to translate something into German for Jane.
Yeah,
Well, I was like, I thought it
great.
would like have a different name because sometimes it's like not
Yeah.
translated the same.
I get it.
Yeah,
And
no,
it's like-
it's exactly the
yeah.
same. It's the same word. It's okay. I like that you translated that for me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that would be good. You know.
Also, Gänsehaut goose. So geese. Untitled Goosehaut.
I'd love to. I want to play it. I want to play that
Yeah,
game.
apparently there's up on Game Pass now.
What?
Yeah, it's on Game Pass. I wanted to play it. 'cause
God damn! I never pay attention to Game Pass. There's so many goddamn games.
Yeah,
out
so many
there.
games pop up and it's so good. But
Oh wait, okay. So are we playing Don't Starve then?
Yeah, I have never started this game up. I'm starting it up right now just to see what happens.
Have you got Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together? Because that's the one.
I have to don't starve together. I have
Cool.
to-
Good.
Yeah, I was panicking in my head like, oh shit. Okay, so people who are in chat right now, we're gonna play some games, but it's gonna be oh shit, I haven't set my camera up.
oh hey, Fleet. Hello.
Hey Fleet.
I
We're gonna be basically like streaming. Is it? So Joe's gonna stream your side, Jane's gonna stream their side, you look very confused, Jane. Your mouth was like
Yeah, because
completely.
everything froze for me for like a solid
Yeah,
30
so-
seconds.
That's one thing we need to test if it will run, because I've never tried streaming Don't Starve. I've played Don't Starve with friends just on my own,
Mhm.
and it slightly lagged on its own without me even streaming. So we gotta test it. Otherwise we got demon. So
It'll be fine, I'm sure. Either way, it's all good. If there's not a disaster in a stream,
What is happening here?
Then-
Okay, I'm so confused. I'm gonna talk to you guys in a second about this because it's telling me like Charlie will miss you, and I'm like, who the fuck?
Wait,
who's
what?
Charlie?
I don't know who Charlie is.
Wait, where are you reading? Charlie's gonna miss you. I'm so confused.
So I opened
Charlie's
some
a
stuff together,
Character in Don't
and
Starve.
then it says that I'm offline, which isn't true because I'm talking to you, so I know that I'm online. But it says I'm offline. I'm trying to play it, and it's like, do you want to play offline because your Steam isn't working? I'm like, but I'm playing it on Steam.
One thing about Don't Starve is that you have to make a sign in for. Or we should have planned this ahead. But I forgot about it. You have to make an account with the whatever it's called, the company that did Don't Starve.
Oh
It
yeah,
doesn't take too long, but that would be something to do.
that's
Okay,
fine.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, I just loaded my game, and then for my hearing, Jane just went, and I think people in the
I
chat
think-
just heard it.
I think the game just kind of, because for me everything lagged for a couple seconds too. So
This-
Okay, so here's an idea. How about we stop the Discord call, we get our stuff set up, and then we start up another voice one once we've got everything ready.
Yeah, I have the Don't Starve music playing right now, so yes.
Nice.
Sure.
All right.
Alright.
You guys bounce, and I'll just entertain everyone while we're.
Yeah,
And then we
Joe,
have game
Joe,
times. Yes.
Joe, you gotta help me. We actually gotta call out real quick because you gotta help me figure this out because I don't know what you meant with the logging in stuff. Can you help me real quick?
Okay, yeah, we'll do a separate thing.
Oh my
to
god.
Check that
Okay.
if this works.
Wait. Dave, then you can just leave the call so we can just talk.
Yeah, that's fine. All right.
Get out of it.
Oh,
We're doing the right
I'm
podcast.
getting booted out of my own podcast. That's so disrespectful.
Oh, dear.
All right, back in. See you soon.